The rain continued to fall against the balcony railings as Ethan Harper stared out across the grey London skyline. His ex-wife's message remained unread in his notifications. "I'll regret hurting you for the rest of my life." For a moment, he almost replied. Almost. But before he could decide, another message appeared. This one wasn't from Sophie. It was from an unknown number. "You deserve to know the truth." Ethan frowned. His stomach tightened. The message was followed by a photograph. His hand trembled as he opened it. It showed Sophie and the young courier, but the picture wasn't recent. The date stamp in the corner was from nearly 3 years ago. 3 years. Not 7 months. 3 years. His pulse began racing. He immediately called the number. No answer. He called again. Still nothing. Then another message arrived. She lied about how long it lasted. Ethan sat frozen. For months he had been trying to rebuild his life around the belief that the affair lasted 7 months. 7 painful months. Now he wasn't sure if anything she had told him was true. That night he barely slept. The next morning he searched through old photographs, emails, and memories. Suddenly things started making sense. The unexplained weekends. The strange excuses. The nights she claimed she was visiting friends. The missing money from their joint account. The pieces he had ignored because love had made him blind. 3 days later his phone rang. It was Lily. "Dad, can we meet?" Her voice sounded different. Worried. They met in a small cafe near Richmond. Lily sat quietly for several moments before finally speaking. "Mum told me something." Ethan looked at her carefully. "What?" Lily's eyes filled with tears. The delivery driver wasn't the first one. The words hit him harder than discovering the affair itself. His chest felt hollow. "What do you mean?" Lily swallowed hard. Mum admitted she'd had another affair years ago. She ended it before anyone found out. The world seemed to stop. 20 years. 20 years of marriage. And suddenly Ethan realized he had never truly known the woman he had shared his life with. Lily reached across the table and squeezed his hand. "I'm sorry, Dad." Ethan smiled sadly. "This isn't your burden to carry." A week later Sophie asked to meet. Against his better judgment, he agreed. They met on a cold evening beside the Thames. She looked older than he remembered. Not physically. Just tired. Broken. The confidence she once carried had disappeared. For several moments neither spoke. Finally Sophie whispered, "I never stopped loving you." Ethan laughed softly. Not out of amusement. Out of disbelief. "You don't destroy people you love." Tears rolled down her cheeks. "I was selfish." "Yes. I thought you'd always forgive me." "Yes." She lowered her head. For the first time since their divorce, Ethan felt no anger. No hatred. No desire for revenge. Only sadness. The kind that comes when someone you once loved becomes a stranger. Sophie looked at him desperately. "Is there any chance for us?" Ethan stared at the river flowing beneath the city lights. Years ago he would have said yes without hesitation. Years ago he would have fought for them. But not anymore. Because healing had taught him something important. Sometimes love isn't enough. Trust is what keeps love alive. And once trust dies, love slowly follows. Ethan stood. "I forgive you, Sophie." Her eyes widened. "But I can't come back." The tears came harder then, because she finally understood. Forgiveness wasn't reconciliation. Forgiveness didn't erase consequences. Forgiveness simply meant he refused to carry the weight of her betrayal any longer. He turned and walked away. She called his name once, then twice, but he never looked back. Months later Ethan received a wedding invitation. Not for Sophie, for Lily. His daughter had become engaged to a kind young teacher from Manchester. As he watched her smiling on her wedding day, surrounded by friends and family, he felt something he hadn't felt in years. Peace. Real peace. The kind that doesn't come from wealth, marriage, or success. The kind that comes from surviving the worst moment of your life and discovering that it didn't destroy you. It only changed you. And as the music played and Lily shared the first dance with her husband, Ethan looked up at the evening sky and smiled. Because sometimes the ending you never wanted becomes the beginning you desperately needed. And sometimes the greatest act of courage isn't holding on. It's finally letting go. If you've ever been betrayed by someone you trusted, remember this. Their choices do not define your worth. The people who break your heart don't get to decide the rest of your story. Only you do. And sometimes, the best chapter of your life begins after the one that nearly destroyed you.